Ha, Gary. Greetings, you fell specters. I hope you're doing well. My name is Graham, and this is the Crack-A-Pack on LRRMTG, brought to you by our friends at Card Kingdom. Check out cardkingdom.com/LRR to get yourself some cards, perhaps cards you see today in this Mystery Booster Convention Edition. Yes, this is the original Mystery Booster Convention Edition. Oh, actually, I suppose, hang on, Convention Edition 2021, which I think is the second printing of Mystery Booster, for manners that is relevant to. I think there are some things that are slightly different, perhaps, but I don't care. This was given to us by AI Blue or iBlue in mail time. Thank you very much. Let's get into this. Ah, delightful. Now, Mystery Booster Original, of course, has collation with 2 cards of each color, and then nonsense, and then a playtest card. That's part of the nonsense, I suppose. This doesn't have the white border cards or the Future Sight printing. That's all Mystery Booster 2, but it's still super fun to draft. We begin with Snubhorn Sentry, back from Ixalan. It's a single white mana for a 0/3 dinosaur with Ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing. And Snubhorn Sentry gets +3/+0 if you have the City's Blessing. So if you have 10 or more permanents, it's a 3/3 for 1. Pretty good. Congregate. Oh, yeah, that's the thing. The cards, when I was like the 2 cards of each color, they can just be uncommons as well. They can be whatever. This is like, it's the best kind of chaos draft. Congregate is 3 and a white for an instant. Target player, you want to target yourself, gains 2 life for each creature on the battlefield. So, yeah, gain a bunch of life. Into blue now, because I think it is in Wooburg order, isn't it? It sure is. All right. Pondering Mage. Wow. From Modern Horizons 1. 3 blue for a 3/4. When Pondering Mage enters the battlefield, look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle your library, draw a card. Because it's Ponder. He just does Ponder. Great. Thrumming Bird, 1 and a blue for a 1/1 flying bird horror. And whenever Thrumming Bird deals combat damage to a player, proliferate. And I love, again, I say this every time we look at Mystery Boosters, but I always appreciate that the printing that they choose, or at least even if the art is the same, the printing they choose insofar as the expansion symbol is always the most obscure option they can find. In this case, it's from Commander 2, which I guess was 2018. It just the expansion name is CM2. So I guess that was just the second round of Commander decks. Or I don't know. I don't immediately recognize this expansion symbol. It's certainly one of the Commander sets. What I like about it is that it does that. Is that I go, what is this? I gotta go figure out what this is and go looking for it. Also, I'm just now realizing, back to Pondering Mage for a second, that the Modern Horizons 1 expansion symbol looks an awful lot like the cowboy hat from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Now I can't unsee that. Okay. Next, Grim Discovery. 1 and a black for a sorcery. Choose one or both. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Return target land card from your graveyard to your hand. Cool. This one is from Dual Decks R from 2016. I don't think I've ever seen this expansion symbol before. Which one was Dual Deck R?
Nissa versus Obnixilis.
Oh, this will be from the Obnixilis half of the Dual Decks. Cool. All right. James is here. It's Gary. The Grey Merchant of Asphodel. 3 black for a 2/4 zombie. When Grey Merchant of Asphodel enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. Haha, Gary. This is from Commander 2014. Whichever set that was. Good old Gary. Spark Splitter from Ultimate Masters. 2 and a red for a 1/3 Elemental Spell Shaper. Spell Shapers, the subtype, of course, means that you can discard a card to shape the spell, or the land, that you're discarding into a different spell. In this case, you pay 1 and a red and discard a card to make a 3/1 red elemental creature token named Spark Elemental. It has trample, haste, and at the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice Spark Elemental. So the Spark Spitter just makes Spark Elementals. I like when Magic gets to have fun referencing itself. Fierce Invocation, in from Fate Reforged. 4 and a red for a sorcery. Manifest the top card of your library. Then put 2+1/+1 counters on it. Manifest, as a reminder, is that you just take the top card of your library and you put it into play like a 2/2 creature. You can look at it, your opponent can't look at it. And if it's a creature, you can pay its mana cost to turn it face up. But that's only if it's a creature. Also, then you put 2+1/+1 counters on it. And then they liked Manifest so much that they thought, what if we made this way better in Duskmourn and gave you card selection and graveyard filling at the same time? Cool stuff. All right, green cards now. Thornhide Wolves. They're wolves. That's it. They're a 4/5 for 5. This one's from M19, but I think they were from the original Innistrad as just like, yep, that's wolves. Certainly they were from that block. They might have been from Dark Ascension, but they were definitely just around in Innistrad. Wow, another card from Dual Decks Nissa versus Obnixilis, but from the Nissa side now. It's Oak Gnarl Warrior. 5 green for a 5/7 Treefolk Warrior with Vigilance and Trample. Big. 7 mana, big thing. Cool. All right. Let's see what remains in the more interesting sections of this pack. Whoa, Shardless Agent. Okay. 1 green-blue for a 2/2 human rogue with Cascade. And this is from Plane Chase? Yeah, this is from the Plane Chase decks. Cool. I remember Shardless Agent being a pretty relevant card back in 2016. Yikes. Well, nice seeing Shardless Agent around. Ah, what if we needed 4 more copies of Evolving Wilds for our deck? Great news. Or 1 more copy if you're in Commander. Great news. It's Tectonic Edge. It's a land. It taps for... Well, Tectonic Edge actually taps for a colorless as well. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Terramorphic Expanse. Tech Edge, as we call it, you know, because we're us and the land. We're cool like that. Tech Edge taps for colorless, but you have to pay 1 to sack it and go get to destroy. Oh, this is not... Wow, scratch everything I just said. Matt, don't use any of that. It taps for colorless, and for 1 and tap and sack it, destroy a non-basic land. Activate this ability only if an opponent controls 4 or more lands. They were like, okay. Strip Mine, that was too good. Wasteland, that was also too good. What if we make it... Okay, it's only non-basics, and they have to have more land. You can't keep them off their only land. They have to have some lands left over afterwards. Okay? Tech Edge it is. This one's from Commander 2014. Neat. Whoa, oh no. Amongst our rares, the first rare is Goblin Game. 5 red for a sorcery. I will read it as written. Each player hides at least 1 object. Then all players reveal them simultaneously. I remind you, this is not a silver bordered or acorn card. This is a magic card. Each player hides at least 1 object, then reveals them simultaneously. Each player loses life equal to the number of objects they revealed. The player who revealed the fewest objects then loses half their life rounded up. If 2 or more players are tied for fewest, each loses half their life rounded up. Again, actual magic card. The point, I mean, as you can tell from the illustration, the point is you're supposed to, like, put stuff in your hands behind your back and then be like, okay, ta-da, but, like, each player hides at least 1 object. Goblin game. All right. We have a second rare. It's Aminatu's Augury. It's also very expensive. This one is 6 blue for a sorcery. Exile the top 8 cards of your library. You may put a land from among them onto the battlefield. Until end of turn, for each non-land card type, you may cast a card of that type from among the exiled cards without paying its mana cost. I swear I knew that card existed, but I feel like I'm only just really reading it for the first time, and that seems pretty cool. Lastly, the playtest card. Wow. Oh, what is this one? Crozen Adaptation. It's a creature enchantment with Storm for a single green mana. When you cast the spell, copy it for each spell cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. The copies enter the battlefield as tokens. The enchanted creature has +1/+0 and Vigilance. I think this was the first instance, as is common with these playtest cards, I think this was the first instance of token creature enchantments, which would later come up in Wilds of Eldraine with all the rolls. You can choose new targets for the copies. Yeah, these don't all have to go on the same creature. Like if you get Storm of 5 and you make a bunch of copies of Crozen Adaptation, they can go all on one creature, or you can spread them out across different creatures. That's kind of cool. Not as high as we could have rolled on the playtest cards. I know there's some out there that are still worth a pretty penny, but not bad. Now, if I'm sitting down to do Mystery Booster, so because it's me, obviously, Grey Merchant of Asphodel is a strong possibility for first pick. Goblin Game is very silly. Goblin Game and Aminatu's Augury are both very powerful in different ways, but they're also really expensive. So it's possible that I just try to take like Shardless Agent or something, because some of the best cards in here are just very expensive. We'll say Aminatu's Augury. We'll try to go Control-y blue. How about that? Join me in that adventure, won't you? Great. Currently, this pack on Card Kingdom is going for a total of $8.50. The most expensive card in the pack? Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Which I would not have called, but I guess there's enough people out there who respect the Gary, so I gotta give it to him, I suppose. Well, hey, if you want to get any of these cards, head on over to Card Kingdom, who we are happy to continue to sponsor the show. Until next time, thank you from AI Blue, or iBlue, from Mailtime. Much appreciated. I have been Graham, joined by James on tech. Matt or Jordan edit these, and Heather gets them online. You all watch and support us, which again is the most important part. So thank you for supporting us on Patreon or becoming a member of this YouTube channel. We thank you so much. Until next time, talk to you again later. How did I jumble that up? Goodbye.